It is almost that time of the day where the Jamaica men's national team will be playing against the Panamanians in the CONCACAF Nations League third place playoffs. And before the game is even kicked off, I want to have an engaging session right now as it relates to how Jamaica could potentially line up against Panama. So, make we see. Wagwan. This video is one for all, as we are given that eligible right, of course, to participate in the prediction as to how Jamaica can line up against Panama. Of course, this video won't be long because the game will be kicked off at 5 p.m. Jamaica time today, the 24th of March 2024. The disappointment is on both teams' end because Jamaica lost to the United States and Panama lost to the Mexicans. So, with no further ado, let's just jump into the meat of the matter and have this video rolling. So, I am going to use lineup builder for the football formation creator for Jamaica team, right? So, I have to say that Coach Al Grimson went well with the 4 3, the 3-4-3 formation. And I believe that it will be the formation that he will go for, right? So I am putting the formation in place from now, and let me just add Jamaica here, right? So with no question, in goal, we will have Andre Blake. That is my prediction. He has been amazing for Jamaica. Basically, from he gained that chance to represent the country, he has not made much of a mistake. Andre Blake is Jamaica's prime goalkeeper that has been serving the country for many years. Very disciplined, a good leader, one that we always can call up, and he will be there to represent. All right, so of course the back line, I will be starting from my left, but it will be your right. Of course, I will go for the man himself, Mr. Bernard. Right, he has been amazing for Jamaica on that right hand side. And normally, when he's playing in the back line, he will be more so on that side of the pitch. Right, he has been impressive for a player who may not be the main starter of the two between a low and a pinnock. But whenever he receives his opportunity, he grab it by way of his two hands and deliver based on expectation. And he's not the oldest center back we have. We have a lot more years to get from him. And with all of these experience that he's receiving under his belt, both from the club's perspective and internationally, I am proud to say that I have to go with him right here. Now the back line, the main center back in the center of the three, I have to go for Mr. Michael Hector. Reason being, remember, Damian Lowe, we don't want for him to stick in the back line. He's too good for that position. Not to say that he is better than everyone on the pitch, but where we would need for him to play otherwise, I think we can understand that he should not be playing as a centre back in this back three. I mean, I did a video recently explaining the importance of the central defensive midfielder. If you are a centre back, then age is a factor that can lead to your position being changed. And that is the reason why I believe that when you're even selecting a back three in a in a 3-4-3 formation, a person who has that huge experience or that major role in playing as a DM in their earlier days or in their prime, you can convert them to a centre back because they have that understanding of reading the game. He may not be the fastest player, Hector, but his distribution, um, leadership at the back, of course, his ability to make wise decisions, definitely he will have to play right there. And two, this side, the left hand side of the pitch, I believe that this man has gained the confidence of Jamaican fans. I was even, I won't say surprised, but I am impressed based on how this man played against the United States. Remember that golden chance that they had and he just stepped in and just cleared that ball? That could have actually equalized the game 1-1. Mr. Latibodier, you have my green light, to play right there on the left hand side of the back three. Latibodier is mainly known to be a midfield player in the Jamaica team, but we can understand that he can play different positions and he had that experience, that profile of playing as a centre back as well. And I think playing him right there based on the recent results against the United States, based on players' performances, I think he deserves a tick because we will not get back our Pinnock or our Bell. So we have to work with those who impressed before and use these players to go forward. All right. So Mr. Latibodier, that is where you will play. And the thing is, Jamaica, I don't think they even play a really low block against the United States, but they had to do a lot of defensive work. And when you're defending, it will take intelligence and discipline, of course, to play that position. All right. So to the right hand side of the midfield, in the midfield four, this man, Dexter Lembikisa. He is an energy tank for the men's national team. He is a player who is growing in confidence, a player who may not have the best of the best qualities of a right back or a right wing back, but his main attribute of defensive capabilities makes him given that opportunity and that go ahead to play in that midfield four. He will be going up and down the field because maybe Algrims want to change him into the the right back because formations can change, and I know that he will be able to play that. He's still in his younger stage of his career, but he's absolutely amazing. And to have him playing for Jamaica in that game against Panama, for which Jamaica will have to be playing quite disciplined and well as well. Um, I think Lembe Kisa, with the energy that he possesses and that confidence in growing into the game, will be the rightful player to play as a right wing back. Beside him, I will have to go for a Casey Palmer yet again. I mean, he received a sitter against United States. I don't want to speak much on that game because it is a past, and I did a video recently talking about what's next for Jamaica. I don't want for us to be making mistakes too often because then again, making mistakes will just deplete or put aside or degrade what Jamaica should be building. We have a very wide base of fans here who love the game of football, and our players have to step up to the plate and deliver and give us some consistent victories. Even if it is 1-0, those things will contribute to our position in the FIFA rankings. Casey Palmer plays well for Coventry. He received a call up for Jamaica. He came by and he played. Yes, he may have his time when he is not at his best, but he is a quality player, and we cannot judge a player from one game. Even though for me, I would love for him to play higher up the pitch, but you know, and I know that he cannot play so high in this game because some key players return, and having a case if I'm playing up front, we are limited in the midfield, so he has to drop back in that midfield position, but he will give it that license to go forward, to and from, and assisting the energy monster in the midfield that will be playing as the DM in Mr. Damian Lowe. He's a centre back by nature. I think he received those blessings from his father, who used to play for Reggae Boys, of course. Damian Lowe, I mean, this guy is always available for Jamaica. And I think he needs to be applauded and awarded with a victory today. He plays effortlessly for Jamaica. He loves to play for his country. He takes this game very serious. He believes in teamwork, and he deserves to be playing in that position because Panama is not a team that Jamaica can run over. Panama is a type of team for which we have to be careful against because Panama is fast. They know how to defend. They know how to play their game. And Panamanians don't like to lose either. They have that aggressive nature. So Damian Lowe, you have to at least rough them up even more in this game because we lost to the United States, and I extend the same thing to the other players on the pitch. We don't want for us to be coming to this game and saying, oh, it is third place, oh, we're just building for the future. You have to show that you have the interest and that belief that if we work harder and listen to the instructions given and have that training ability to learn to play in different positions, but to be a specialist in specific areas, then we can dominate any team or almost whatever team that comes across. So Damian Lowe, as we should understand, is one of Jamaica's prime pass off the ball. I always express myself to say that no one in Jamaica team in the midfield or backline have that ability to pass the ball from a deep line as good as Damian Lowe. Whether it is aerial or on the ground, direct passes, he is that man. And I love for him to play in this DM role because playing at the centre back position, I think, is too friendly to opposition players. Yes, respect is everything, but you have to be fierce, right? You don't have to try to drive fear into players, but you have to have that mindset of being fierce. So whenever you're playing against opposition players, you do not try to play the friendly role. And that is what I saw he did against Argentina when we lost about 3-0, right? When Messi scored 2 goals and they ran to get his autograph and whatever it may be. That is fine after the end of the game, but when you lose a game like that, you have to remember that you're representing not only your nation but for your own self. But then again, that is a pass, and I believe that Damian Lowe is the best player to play in that DM role, as we know his name is trending to play in that position, and that is absolutely something for which Jamaicans would really appreciate of him to do. Now, the man who scored a goal against the United States in the first minute is Mr. Lee. He will be that person to partner beside Mr. Lowe on the left-hand side of the midfield. That was a beautiful goal from across from Bobby Reed. And I think this guy as well is one of those players who presses quite well, who always have that energy, who keeps his head down, who have the belief that, if it only takes for me to put my game or myself on the line for Jamaica to win a game, he will. That is what Lee possesses. And when you have players like these in the squad who Yes, he may not talk that much. He shows that respect for his nation and he plays for the badge. So for him to be even replaced will not be easy. So as you can see, there's a balance in the midfield for Jamaica, where it is concerned with strength, passing of the ball, game control, game management. These four players in the midfield I will work with. If we had other players, of course, then we know how it will go. But I'm going to go into a small more explanation or discussion about the teams thereafter. But I'm just going through the lineups for predicted lineups for the game against Panama, which will be kicked off at 5 o'clock. And if you are liking the video thus far, people, you can drop your comment right away. You can absolutely subscribe to the page. You can then again share the video so other persons can see it. The more you comment, the more you share, the more you like, YouTube promote and recommend this channel or this video to other persons in the world. All right, so with that being explained a while ago, I'm going to go at the front line where we will be excited to say that our players should dominate the Panamanians. Now, Bobby Reed, who plays from the right hand side, is expected to play back at this position. He made that assist against the United States. He was very well in regards to how he plays, even in a number 10 role as well, even though his main position was on the right hand side. I saw how he played against Robinson. Robinson, who plays beside him as a teammate or in the same squad at Fulham. Bobby Reed, he played some excellent game. His skills were executed. It was obvious to see his passes, his confidence, his personal drive. I mean, things of such that he possesses is absolutely commendable. And for him to be in the squad, as I would express about Mr. Lee and Lowe before, who is always available, I think having a Bobby Reed who is even a good set piece taker in Jamaica squad for like corners and free kicks, and more so penalties, then this man is a man that we have to have in the starting 11. All right, so right here, our main player is back, and I am happy that he is back because if we had him against the United States, even though Jamaica played really well against USA, even though I was upset that we lost, if we had Demarai Gray in that 11, he would have, I would say, scored on USA just as fast as how Lee scored. And if Lee scored first, I don't think it would have even reached in the second half for us to score again. Because how United States was playing, they weren't playing their best games. And Demarai Gray would have caused a catastrophic effect on the United States by way of running on them, giving them a lot of problems because he's nimble footed or quick footed. He is more direct and he's very tricky. A little reminder of Nani from Manchester United in the past. Demarai Gray possessed those qualities. Good ball control. Whether you're kicking the ball, giving him a pass from the aerial perspective, his control is on point. It's like when the ball drops on his foot, it's like a glue on a paper. It doesn't matter what is the pitch condition, he will demonstrate that quality players plays on any pitch. And when I'm even playing scrimmage football, I always tell my friends or those who are on the pitch that it doesn't matter what the condition of the pitch is, you have to learn to assess yourself, apply yourself, or what you have learned or you're learning in the game of football. You have to execute that in the game. Do not complain too much about the condition. But if you know that the condition is bad, then you know you have to change your game because football is a fast-paced game depending on who you're playing as well, because Panama will not sit back against Jamaica, so they'll be more attacking and more aggressive against Jamaica because they want the third place. So because they know Demarai Gray is a talisman for the national team, they will be at him. So what he will need to do is to make the passes when there's a right time to do so, dribble when there's a need to do so, score of course when he got that chance to execute. So Demarai Gray, the most clinical player in the Jamaica lineup right now, and I think he will be the man to play on the left wing position. Of course, Mr. Sheffield, you are absolutely a blistering talent for Jamaica. I love to see how that guy play for Jamaica in that game I saw you played against the United States. He was absolutely running at the players. He had a few issues related to decision making, but we cannot use those small issues or errors that he executed in that game to put him aside. He was more so delivering than not delivering. So he has to be on the bench then because we need the firepower and the energy to play against the team. And we have to have Dixon in the team as well because we need that energy from the youngsters with the quality in mind as well and based on ability to play the game against the United States. And Demarai Gray is an excited return, and this man is even up there as well because we will have back our main striker in Shamar Nicholson. The man himself, Boza. The looks of this man alone can tell you that he will not be the type of player that you can say, oh, I that player. Oh, he does big and ugly. Oh, he does look like he can play football and he can score a goal. This man will be hungry for that third place because then again, Bailey expressed that Jamaica have leaders like himself, like the captain, of course, Blake, Damian Lowe, of course, and Shamar Nicholson. Boza, we want for you to score against Panama. You have to keep that form going because he did fairly well for the national team thus far throughout his career, and those 2 goals against the Canadians is what Jamaicans really would rank as your best performance, if not the best. Right? You scored some beautiful goals in the past, one against Mexico and other teams, of course. The Mexico one stood out to me from that far range. It was outside of the 18-yard, I assume, and it was on point. So we know you have those powerful strike. We know that you have that dominance in the air as well, and we know that you can hold on to the ball to some extent. We need you for this game because if we had you and Gray, Jamaica would have given United States, I won't say a beating, but would have more so advanced to the finals against Mexico. Persons are crying out for a different type of finals now because United States and Mexico continue to dominate the CONCACAF region. And all was being said that Mexico, well, not Mexico because Mexico blew away Panama though, but persons were saying that, come on, Jamaica should have advanced to the finals. And that makes me feel so bad on the inside. I feel so bad on the inside to know that we haven't won that game. And as I've said before, it is disgusting to even think about, plus thing to talk about. Jamaica keep on blowing games whenever it comes on to the final stages, right? Let me add the badge right here, right? And it is time for us to do better. I was watching a YouTube page, Elite Sports TV, when somebody was making a remark about that game against the United States, and the person mentioned that based on what he saw against the United States, he believed that this is the time that Jamaica will be going forward and playing better football. If not better football, this is where Jamaica should start from to build and become a dangerous team in the CONCACAF region. Jamaica, yes, we have poor structure. We are receiving sponsorship though, and if the schoolboy football and national championship can be invested so heavily in, then we have to do something good to convince sponsors to sponsor our players. We don't want for our players to be sitting in silence, not being happy with the condition or the structure of the team, and even have the same complaint that Leon Bailey have in terms of travels, right? Because some persons will not speak up, they prefer to die in silence, while others will speak up and receive some form of punishment. But looking on that team, my people, how do you feel about the lineup? Do you think that Jamaica has to go with that formation, or should they make a change? We all should understand then again that Jamaica is used to, our coach Al Grimson loves this formation, the 3-4-3 or the 4-4-2. And 4-4-2 formation is a formation that has to be played against teams that are very quick and aggressive and more capable of being quality players in the midfield. Whenever a team like the United States plays in the midfield compared to Jamaica, they have better players, or let's say their team chemistry or their system of training players are better than ours here. And they have time to play with each other more than us. So you have to lock the midfield and let the midfield do the work. If the ball goes to the back line, get in shape, help the back line bring the ball forward to the front line, whereas Bobby Reed, Nicholson, Demarai Gray can contribute to a goal. All right, so let me just have a little talk here now on the team, right? So you're seeing the lineup so far, and I believe that you're impressed with the possible lineup, and I think this is what Coach Al Grimson will go for, because when you're watching the game of football, why change in a team that is delivering, giving you results, to a team that you are not sure about? Anyone that you're bringing from the bench should not be better than those who are on the pitch starting 11. The only way is if that you're not sure about the condition of the player on the bench who may be a star player, or you're saying that you have to use your technical skills as well and psychology to apply. You also would say that, well, I don't think all these players who are normal to start with can manage a certain type of game. So let me just add a few tweak to the lineup, right? But most times, all of the time, you have to have almost all of your best players in crucial games. And every game should be treated as a finals, right? All games should be treated as a final. So just to go over the team before I go into my small talk, we have a 3-4-3 lineup with Andre Blake in goal, Bernard Hector and Latibodier playing the back three, Lee, Lowe, Palmer, Lembikisa in the midfield four, Gray, Reed, and Nicholson the front three. Balance. Let me explain balance in this case now. When I say balance, balance means that if you are on a seesaw, one going up, one going down is not balance. When the seesaw is balanced, then you can say two persons are on. It is somewhat not the right way to look on it in terms of example, but if you're going to use a seesaw and have balance, then you have to pull on the seesaw and put it on the ground. The seesaw will have to be on the ground because it is on the leveled ground. And I'm speaking about levels now in regards to the balance, because the best example to use now is like a scale. If you are going to use a scale and the left hand side have the scale holder and the right hand side have a scale holder, then for example, for it to be 50-50, then you have to put, for example, now I assume someone can cook 4 pound of mixed parts in the right portion and 4 pound of mixed parts in the left portion. That brings a balance. And not in all cases the balance will be 100% equal, but it cannot be, say, 70-30, 80-20. That will bring across now the seesaw. You have somebody with more weight sitting on one end, and the person who is lighter will be all the way up in the sky. So the balance now to explain about the national team now is that Bernard and Lembikisa and Bobby Reed should have that connection from the right hand side. Defensively, Bernard is good and he can play at right back if you never know. He will be covering that section. So where he will be playing beside Lembikisa, well, playing behind Lembikisa, Lembikisa will have that ability to go forward, or that license to go forward. If, for instance, Bernard runs past Lembikisa, Lembikisa is a defender, so he will drop back if there's a need to. No, Bobby Reed, no. Lembikisa coming forward. Bobby Reed will go inside or hang on the touchline depending on how Lembikisa will be doing his thing. But I think Lembikisa is like a Wan-Bissaka. He will be keeping himself on the touchline, so Bobby Reed will drift in, make a pass or score a goal. I am doing this because I want you to envision what I am saying. Making sense, right? So Hector now in the center. He's the main man. If Bernard and Latibodier goes forward, he will have to be the man to stay with Blake. He will make that front pass to a Casey Palmer or to a Low, right? Those two guys now would have to connect. One going forward, one going back. For example, Casey Palmer giving the lights to come forward, but Damian Lowe will be the man to guard the back three, and Palmer come forward, make a pass to the front three. Lowe can do the same thing, Palmer drop back. Mr. Lee, the same thing like Alembi Kisa with a Latibodier. Latibodier and Lee. Latibodier, for example, come forward, Lee drop back. Or Lee come forward, Latibodier stays, Demara Gray touch on the inside where Lee overlaps. Make a pass or cross the ball on the ground or in the air. Nicholson can score, Gray can score, Bobby Reed can score. The front three, they will be interchanging if there's a need to. Sometimes not low. Nicholson may drift to the left, Gray come into the center, Bobby Reed stay to the right, and the other way around. Right? So I'm just giving you the idea of balance when it relates to this team. And for example, now, if Panama decides to do something with their formation, then I think Coach Al Gibson, as persons would say, is more tactical than many other coaches, would have to make a change. We will have players on the bench that can make a difference. I believe Romario Williams should be in the team on the bench. Dixon will be on the bench. What's that guy's name? Sheffers will be on the bench. The keeper in weight, and other players who have good concern like Johnson will be on the bench. And you know others, I know others, but I'm mentioning at least 4 key names that should be on the bench. So the prediction was there, the lineup was being seen or predicted on, and it is time for you now, the people, to become engaged and let me know what you think about this formation. Keep the subscription coming in. The hard work is being done here on Premier 7. This was a quick video, and I was not able to get myself on screen, but I am here to present behind the scenes. So it is time for me to go. But before I leave, what is your prediction on the game? Do you think Jamaica will take this one? If yes, how much will the scoreline be? Because there's no way a draw will determine who will get the third place playoff. Somebody has to win. So I think 2-1 in favor of Jamaica will be a predicted score because of the balance that both teams have, or the level of competitiveness or similarities. I don't want for Jamaica to lose, so I won't say Panama 3, Jamaica 1, Panama 2, Jamaica 1. 2-1 to Jamaica. I won't say 3-1 because I don't think so many goals will be scored in the game. And if Jamaica scores early, I think Jamaica can go on to score another one. And Jamaica have a tendency to concede goals, so a goal in the second half, Jamaica may concede. Or say 1 goal in the first half, but Jamaica can bounce back with Demari Gray, Reed, Casey Palmer, Bowser, and the list goes on to score at least 2 more goals. So 2-1 to Jamaica, and the game will be at 5 p.m. Jamaica time. So I thank you all for turning out to this amazing video. You make me feel as if I'm doing something, and then again, I'm doing my best to make you, the people, enjoy what Premier 7 is bringing across. So in that case, before I go, you can follow me on my social media platforms. Of course, here on Premier 7 on YouTube. I have my TikTok page. You see Premier 7 Football, Instagram Premier 7 Football. Check out my pages. Become engaged because I will be willing to respond to the comments being sent by you all. If you have any invitation that you want to invite me on, like you're keeping a stream, like you're discussing about games and so forth, once I'm available, I will make myself to be on your show to even assist or to let your page become more recognized. I need recognition, and I think you all need recognition as well. So if you're sending out invitation, you can always let me know what you think about this topic XYZ, and I will prepare myself to come on board because I love to be engaged in football discussions. So it is time for me to go, people. Thank you for turning out. Take care and goodbye until we meet again.